Imagine an African country with winter snows, where people ski in July, and where the lowest point in the whole country is still higher than the city of Denver. It sounds like an impossibility, but this place is genuine. Welcome to Lesotho, the wonderful kingdom in the sky. Lesotho is a landlocked country that is an enclave within South Africa and is the only country in the world that exists entirely over 1,000 meters, 3,281 feet, in elevation. It occupies just over 11,700 square miles, less than the state of Maryland, but its mountains touch every road, every community, every chapter of its history. Geography here is not only a setting, it is the protagonist. Your adventure begins with the airplane descending into Moshohishu International Airport. Jagged peaks line the horizon. Rivers carve out vast valleys. And the crisp mountain air instantly lets you know this is a different Africa than the one most people picture. Southern Africa's highest peak, Thabana Ntlanyana, looms tall over the capital. The highlands are covered with snow during the cold months, and Afriski is the only ski resort in sub-Saharan Africa. Nearby, the famed Sani Pass snakes its way through rugged cliffs and spectacular switchbacks, providing travelers with one of the continent's most memorable alpine drives. In Semenkong, the place of smoke, the mist from Malotsunyane Falls is so tall it can be seen long before the cascade comes into view. In Lesotho, the mountains are more than just a pretty picture. They have defended kingdoms, kept customs, and shaped generations of hardy people. The sky is not something you stare at, it's something you inhabit. But Lesotho's greatest wonder isn't tucked away in its mountains. It's draped on the shoulders of its people. One blanket in this wonderful kingdom has more history than a lot of museums, and it teaches each generation where they come from and what they must never forget. Meet the Basotho, the great nation of the kingdom in the sky. From the busy city of Maseru to the remote villages in the mountains, one tradition unites all. The blanket is worn by the Basotho every day, not as a costume to impress visitors, but as part of the daily existence. It saves you from the mountain cold, but whispers of identity, family, and belonging. Look closely and you'll discover the distinctive Mokorotlo hat, instantly recognizable by its conical shape, inspired by Mount Kiloane. It appears on the national flag of Lesotho and stands for togetherness, tradition, and resilience. The patterns on the blankets are stories in themselves, some for marriage, others for bravery, another for graduation or some life milestone. Many Basotho marriages include family giving blankets in lieu of pricey gifts. Warmth, shelter, and tradition are goods that never lose their value. Even Lesotho's culture has rubbed over on Hollywood. Marvel's Black Panther costumes were inspired by the iconic Basotho blanket, conveying this honorable legacy to millions around the world. But its real meaning still touches people like an 80-year-old village weaver who painstakingly weaves each blanket by hand, just as her mother taught her. Throughout the country, the Basotho spirit is summed up in one powerful word that is repeated: Hotso, Pula, Nala, peace, rain, prosperity. A blanket here is more than a blanket. It holds the memory of a whole family. What if I told you that you can travel between two completely distinct planets within a few hours without leaving the same country? That is the silent wonder of Lesotho. One road leads to contemporary industry and better chances. The other one leads into mountains where life still moves to rhythm of nature, and yet they both are from the same country. Maseru, the capital, is the throbbing heart of a Lesotho in transition. Busy roads are lined with modern office buildings, while companies in the Tetsane industrial region produce garments for major brands like Levi's, Gap, and Old Navy. Each year, millions of garments go out of these facilities, connecting our little mountain country to wardrobes all across the world. Young professionals, entrepreneurs, and students are creating an economy that looks ahead with confidence. Yet venture a few hours into the hills, and another Lesotho silently appears. In a village like Malalea, shepherds lead their sheep across lush mountains. Horses are the best means of mobility, and families live in traditional round stone houses known as rondavels. The evenings come without the bustle of metropolitan traffic. Instead, they overflow with talk and laughter and sky bright enough to show many stars. There is no manner of living that is more authentic than another. Together they tell the full story of Lesotho. One accepts innovation, the other clings to traditions that have existed for generations. They don't compete, they reinforce each other. Perhaps it is the greatest lesson from Lesotho. A country can be both progressive and true to itself. It can construct tomorrow while respecting yesterday. It shows that true development entails taking your roots with you, no matter how far forward you go. But while the mountains have shaped Lesotho's environment, it is the people that have given those mountains a pulse. Survival here has never been just a matter of machines. It has relied on trust between neighbors, between generations, and sometimes between a man and a horse. In the highland before morning, when most of the world is still sleeping, youngsters mount Basotho ponies and begin their journey to school. These amazing horses are not just transportation. They are strong, sure-footed, and perfectly fitted to the steep slopes of the mountains. They carry farmers to distant fields, assist families seek medical treatment, and connect isolated towns where paved roads just do not go. In July, traditional pony races are held to honor the skills, courage, and teamwork that have been the hallmarks of Basotho life for generations. Here, a horse is never merely an animal. It is a faithful friend. As twilight falls on the valleys, another tradition is reawakened. Famo music is the heartfelt melody of the countryside, formed out of the experiences of the Basotho migrant workers who yearned for home. The mountain air carries the haunting notes of the lesiba, a rare mouth bow found practically nowhere else, as if the wind itself was narrating old stories. Then the strong dances of Mojobelo, with their synchronized steps that shake the earth beneath every witness. The famed Basotho blanket has also traveled a long way from these mountains. Its colorful patterns-inspired outfits worn by the Dora Milaye in Marvel's Black Panther, bringing a centuries-old heritage to audiences around the world. In Lesotho, however, there are no such customs for the tourists. They exist because they are still lived. Every single day, culture is not performed here. It just goes on and on, generation after generation. After a day of crossing mountains, listening to ancient songs, seeing life happen above the clouds, you start to understand certain crucial things. Lesotho's real heart isn't at a famous landmark. It's found around the dinner table, when simple meals become discussions, customs become memories, and strangers often leave as friends. In the highlands of Basotho, every meal starts with papa, a filling maize porridge that has sustained families for generations. It is sometimes served with moroho, slow-cooked leafy greens seasoned with simple ingredients found in neighboring fields. There's nothing fancy about the lunch, but it represents a lifestyle of thankfulness, not extravagance. A warm plate of malva pudding, soft, sweet, and coated with thick custard, is comforting on a cold evening after a long day in the mountain air. For many adults, the day closes with a glass of Maloti beer, brewed locally and proudly named after the Maloti Mountains that define the country's scenery. One of the best venues to enjoy this tradition is the famed Duck and Donkey Pub in Semenkong, where hikers, horse riders, and locals gather around the fireplace, sharing stories as if they had known each other for years. Here, life is lived differently. Neighbors still keep an eye on one another. Families share what they've got. It is more the changing seasons and the familiar faces that tell time than the clocks do. Perhaps that is why the food of Lesotho is so unforgettable. They fill bellies, but they also build trust, keep traditions alive, and remind each generation that the wealthiest communities aren't based on money, but on people who never stop turning up for one another. Some mountains are appreciated for their altitude. Some are made famous by the people who stood on them, and answered history's call for courage. Every mountain, every valley, every waterfall in Lesotho bears an undying memory. Here, history and ecology are confused. Close to the mountain community of Semonkong, Place of Smoke, is the majestic Maloti Falls, one of the highest single-drop waterfalls in Africa. The waterfall plunges 630 feet in one uninterrupted drop. The mist rises so high that the traveler often sees it long before he hears the thunder of the river. Next to the falls is the world's longest commercial single-drop abseil, where thrill-seekers plunge about 670 feet next to the roaring cascade. But local lore has a different story to tell. Some Basotho believe the constant roar is the whispering of spirits, calling each generation to respect the force of nature. Nearby is Thaba Boziu, Mountain of Night, birthplace of modern Lesotho. In the early 1800s, King Moshoeshoe I and his people took refuge here, in this natural fortification, away from the tumult and instability of the times. The sheer cliffs defended the Basotho from multiple attacks and formed the basis on which the nation was created. The mountain now remains a symbol of togetherness, persistence, and leadership. These landmarks are more than just dots on a map. They are the living pages of Lesotho's identity, for some mountains are not known by the height they attain. They are remembered for the courage they defended, the freedom they battled for, and the spirit whose hope still echoes off their peaks today, inspiring every visitor who walks among them. Just when you believe Lesotho has told you all its secrets, the mountains whisper one last one. Not all of the world's rarest treasures are hidden behind glass in museums or kept away. They are living, developing, flying, surviving in a strange corner of the earth. And when they're gone, no amount of money can ever bring them back. Selebethibe National Park is the oldest national park in Lesotho, situated in the Maloti Mountains and a component of the UNESCO Maloti Drakensberg World Heritage Site. This mountainous environment is home to stunning sandstone arches, crystal-clear streams, ancient rock art and ecosystems that have been virtually unspoiled for generations. Each trail informs visitors that real wilderness still exists. One of Africa's rarest birds gently circles the mountain air above the cliffs. The bearded vulture, or lammergeier, is legendary for dropping bones from a height to smash them open and devour the nourishing marrow within. With a tiny breeding population left in southern Africa, spotting one in the wild is a luxury and a stark reminder of how delicate nature has become. The mountains are also the home of the amazing spiral aloe, the national flower of Lesotho. Its symmetrical leaves create a stunning natural spiral found nearly nowhere else on our planet. In the valleys below the hills, peach orchards burst into color in summer, while hundreds of rare plant species are found across the Maloti terrain. Lesotho has found that safeguarding nature is not just about saving species, it's about holding on to identity, history, and hope for generations to come. Because some of the world's most precious treasures are found in only one place on Earth, and once they are gone, a piece of our collective human story is gone forever. Think about the first step, and see it tumble next to a footprint over 200 million years older than yours. Lesotho has the startlingly small divide between the old world and modern existence. History here is not stored behind museum walls. It is there, at your feet, waiting to remind you of the brevity of our own chapter. Some of the most spectacular dinosaur trackways in Africa have been discovered by scientists in the sandstone landscapes of Lesotho, including one of the largest predatory dinosaur footprints known on the continent. Fossilized tracks demonstrate that giant reptiles formerly roamed the same valleys that Basotho herders walk their sheep through each morning. It's a powerful reminder that people have lived on this place for generations and generations before the first human story was told. Thousands of years later, another society left its own amazing legacy. The Sand People painted thousands of pictures on the walls of caves and rock shelters in the Maloti Drakensberg area. The images, which span nearly 4 millennia, depict hunters, animals, ceremonies, and spiritual beliefs, and are among Africa's best collections of prehistoric rock art and a rare window on humanity's initial innovation. But the tale of Lesotho didn't end with ancient civilizations. Every September, the Morija Arts and Cultural Festival springs to life with music, poetry, dance, theater, and storytelling to highlight the vibrant culture of the Basotho. Old traditions are not kept in a museum. They just keep evolving with each new generation. Nowhere else, perhaps, is time so delicately bound together. And now a young shepherd roves the slopes paths once walked by dinosaurs, while continuing traditions that someday maybe our children can call history themselves. And thus ends our journey. One question is left: why are so few aware of this lovely country? Perhaps this is why Lesotho has managed to remain one of Africa's best-kept secrets, a country where authenticity still outweighs popularity. April, May, and September-October are the best times to visit when the weather is temperate and the mountain beauty is at its greenest. The trekking conditions are superb. In spring and summer, the high country is a riot of wildflowers of every color, and snow lovers can come from June to August. Lesotho is also one of the more affordable places in southern Africa and may be traveled comfortably on a small daily budget. Many countries such as the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, and most of Europe do not require a visa for short trips, but tourists should always check the latest entry requirements before leaving. What makes Lesotho special is not its packed tourist destinations or fancy resorts. Its remote highlands, traditional ways of life, and close-knit settlements have preserved something increasingly rare in the modern world: authenticity. Sustainable tourism helps maintain local crafts, helps the economy of the town, and encourages people to see the country with respect rather than to pass by. After all we've witnessed, the most surprising thing may not be Lesotho's magnificent countryside or its remarkable history. Here they are. Lesotho is not a country of skyscrapers. It is not oil abundant. It is not strong because they are strong militarily. Its greatest treasure is something that modern civilizations have difficulty preserving: strong sense of self, and that is perhaps the most priceless gift that any nation can ever bequeath to the world. We depart the kingdom in the sky, not only with memories of wonderful vistas. Lesotho teaches us that greatness is not in wealth, strength, or size, but in the principles a nation elects to protect. Basotho have shown that tradition and progress can go hand in hand without losing one's identity. Their narrative is a lesson that, in a world changing before our eyes, we need to appreciate our origins, establish our communities, and defend what really important. People who stay true to their culture and look forward develop stronger nations and inspire a better world for all.